This series is powered by Xandro Labs. Alright, hello everybody, welcome to Trackside Talks, and today we have two goats, greatest of all time. One a goat to be, and one is an ex-goat.
You mean Robin and Elgin?
Hey.
Sorry.
Thank you for calling me a goat, man. I appreciate it.
So, today we have two extraordinary guests.
Okay.
Would you like to introduce yourself? Can we start with Shaun Goh?
Hi, my name is Shaun Goh. I'm a runner in Singapore. I do like a 5K, 10K distance. I currently work as an information security analyst in my day, and I do quite competitive running on the side. Yeah.
Would you like to share some personal best?
You know why not?
Yes,
I think Shaun is very
Humble.
Very humble. So let me ask ChatGPT.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, you asked?
I'm prepared. No worry.
Okay.
Great. According to ChatGPT, Shaun Goh is a competitive runner from Singapore, specializing in long distance event. He recently made headlines, setting a new national record for 10 km on the road, clocking a time of 31 minutes at the run pre-10K in Melbourne, September 2024.
Yeah.
This achievement broke the previous record held by Mr. So Ryong
Oh, what? Who?
by 37 seconds. And so Shaun is also an information security analyst and participated in regional competitions like the Southeast Asian Games. Is that an accurate
Does
introduction?
ChatGPT lying anywhere there? You missed the part where he's only 27 years old.
27 here. I didn't want to disclose the age too much.
A young guy.
I'm starting to feel a little old now in the seat. I don't know why. I on the start list, I'm like one of the oldest guys now in the track.
No, it's okay lah.
It's a long way to go yet.
Don't worry. When you sit down with him,
running
right, you're young all the time.
We're all young when Feroz is here. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for the introduction.
You're
It's,
only
it's
as
about-
young as you think you are.
Yes.
And to the gentleman in this nice coral shirt.
Yeah, hey everybody. My name's Jordan Donnelly. I'm from Liverpool in England, very far away from Singapore. I'm also a runner. I coach and advise Shaun a little bit, guiding him along the way. I work for a footwear or sports brand on running, and I lead the innovation team there, developing the products for athletes.
Perfect.
Yeah. And if we speak about age, I was in the race a few weeks ago in Japan, where I was literally double the age of the next youngest competitor.
Wow.
So, you've got a long way to go. Don't worry.
Yeah.
So Jordan, I think our audience would want to know why I call you an ex-goat. Can you share your achievements?
I mean, running achievements, I ran 800 meters on the track. I ran 149, so under 150. Still, I have the good memories of going up the back stretch, 500 to 600 meters, when it's that moment and it hurts a lot. Do you take the foot off the gas because it hurts, or do you keep pressing because otherwise you don't get the, that achievement? So I decided to keep pressing, and that was probably my best achievement.
So your main event is 800 meter. So what are the PBs for your 5K, 10K?
Yeah. So the 800 career ended a long time ago, 2011, 2012. I think I made 150 times under 2 minutes. Yeah. Average about 152, I think.
Wait, pause.
Yeah.
150 times you ran sub 2.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 minutes and faster.
Yeah. Well, 150.
9 and faster.
Yeah.
Oh my god. 150. How many races have you taken part?
Probably 150.
Every race. I'm running.
I think 16 years old, I ran 201. And then
That's where it started, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, like maybe 215 and 201 after 1 year training, and then
Everything else was history. Okay.
we had a cool thing in university. It was like, if you want to be on the 800 meter squad, you have to be able to break 2 minutes any day, anytime.
Wow.
Any day, any time.
You have 1 hour.
Jeans in a blazer. You gotta be able
You have 1 hour
to prep and go.
Yeah, 1 hour, and we would challenge each other. So there was some like 11 p.m. jumping over the fence to the track,
Right.
and I mean, some guys, you can't do it, but
I never heard this story.
for me was
Wow. Okay, what university is this?
I was in London.
Okay.
In the UK. Yeah.
Let's not go there, guys.
Long time ago.
We won't
Yeah.
make it.
So can I ask?
Yeah.
When you were clocking that in that I don't know, that era of like sub 2 anytime, any day.
Yeah.
How many people? How many of your peers are doing that as well? Like
we-
sub 2.
We were like 7 guys in our house, living in our house. Like we were like the middle distance track team, let's say.
Okay.
Yeah, and it would be like this. Like on Sunday evening, we used to watch like Prison Break. It was like not Netflix. It was way before Netflix.
Yeah.
It was like on TV, and then we'd go to bed. I don't know, like 10, 11 p.m. And it would always be at like Sunday night, 10 p.m. The guys would have chatted to each other in the day and like pick somebody, and then be like, "Hey, yo, you have 1 hour."
Oh, Mamma mia.
Get to the track, jump the fence, do your warm up, and then you have to go. No paces. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Some of them are on Facebook videos.
Solo.
Okay, but
Solo.
would y'all have guessed that it's coming? Like the
No, just the
you
boys.
can't. So
Just
that
the-
means even like a workout the day before and then next day.
Yeah. Well, this was the thing because usually on Monday would be actually a hard training day.
Yeah.
So it was not nice. Yeah. Yeah. And we were always scared about like the security
Right.
from the university because like the stadium's like locked at night.
Right.
So we'd have to like warm up outside and then jump in just for like the effort and.
This is not like the coach's decision. It's like a hazing thing, is it? Is
Yeah, I can't, but hazing is like you make people, I don't know, like drink
Humiliate
alcohol
someone,
and
yeah. But
This
this
is
is
more like
Prove your worth.
and you know if you don't make it, then it's no big deal.
Right.
I thought
Yeah.
that was-
It's a
But
dare.
if you do make it, then you're a legend.
Oh, man.
Wow.
So now we know a new training for 800 meters. Every
Yeah.
Sunday night, 10 p.m. Put the spikes on, head to the track.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, starting from Firoz.
Hey.
Yeah.
Okay, now on to Shaun. Shaun, when do you start running?
Like officially getting into competitive distance running probably in my army days lah, because I think since my early education to army I was really all into basketball. Like I was a big NBA fan. My brother brought me to a basketball court when I was in primary school, and I watched a lot of NBA. Then I joined the primary school basketball team. The primary school, secondary school, up to JC, I was just all into basketball. Like I was like, I thought I was gonna do this until like I don't know when. Then I reached army, so you know how NS is like. Stay in, you don't have a lot of time to go and play basketball anymore, you know?
Right.
So doing my nights out, I just started jogging. You know? Then once you realize you start doing a bit more, then you get better at it, and it starts to feel better. You know, like then I started signing up for those those hard road races like 2XU or
Wait, can I stop you there?
yeah.
Like, from a fun sport into something that's not fun, how?
You're like, why would you
Yeah.
give up?
Exactly.
Basketball?
Actually, that identity transformation is like it took a while. Like I was really like all into basketball. Like even actually now I'm still love basketball, but it's like I don't play as much because I kind of worry about the injury risk because
Right.
I have very weak ankles. Like I always sprain my ankles when I play basketball. So
Isn't that
But-
usually a joke? Weak ankles.
yeah, I got paper ankles. Yeah, they tear very easily. Yeah. So but yeah, it's just army. I thought I just do running because there was time to do it, and I started doing these road races. And when you start training, the initial gains. So you get when you just start running, you run all these races. I signed up for a lot of races in when I was army because there was nothing to do. So weekends I'll just do AHM or do like 2XU, and I was just going there like alone. I actually like didn't really like sign up my friends. Sometimes I did, but like sometimes I get my friends to come sign up with me, but they don't want. So I'll go myself. Like I just go there, run, and
Wow.
then I go back. And like usually at the start the timings will just keep improving. But then it's a good feeling. You get the endorphins. You get a sense of accomplishment. A side note is that in basketball I wasn't that good, so my teams weren't really that great. Like I love the sport, but like didn't have much success in my school days. Like a lot of bad losses. So after army, I went to like National University of Singapore, NUS. Then I thought maybe I knew that by then I didn't think I had the talent to play varsity basketball. So I decided to join the distance team. And,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember you, I only know you in the scene when you're in NUS.
Yeah. I before that I didn't do like track races. I think I did one, but I was like in the army. There was a SAFSA road race. No, SAFSA track and field is my Navy team. They sent us to do like 5K race.
Right.
I didn't know what I was doing. I just got there and run.
So all this while, you were just training on your own, self-coached.
Yeah, I was I was self-coached. I did what I think most new runners do. They YouTube how to improve your 5K PB.
How to run.
I think your first few searches will come up like Sage Kennedy. You get those first few guys like
Right.
they teach you run slow to run fast. Like
Runner's World article.
runners article, Sweat Elite's like paid training plans. You can only scroll a bit of like Bekele's training
first week.
plan. Yeah. Then you just get a bit of that, and I also that's when I kind of chanced upon like those like people like Ray Yong's profile. That's when I learned about Ray Yong in army. Then he posts his workouts on Instagram last time. Like his Bedok Reservoir workouts, his track workouts, and I will
Mimic
look at the workout and I will try to like adjust it to me, like do those 400 meter on, 1 minute off, 2 minute off. Then I think I made a joke like 2 months ago. That's the first time I learned the word float rest. That's like what the hell is that? Like recovery is still at a jog. I thought that was like a crazy notion. Yeah. So actually, and he always gives me shit for this, but I look at Let's Run a lot. Let's Run it's like the Reddit of running. Yeah, people just post a lot of passionate runners post there, but there's a lot of nonsense on it. But if you really peer through it, there's actually quite a lot of knowledge inside that site. Yeah.
But when you follow this program, right, I believe you already probably read some other articles on training philosophy.
I didn't really look at those like formal like Jack Daniels books or those kind of things. I was just pulling here, pulling there, because I also wasn't super all in at the time. I was just doing it. I didn't know. Just testing, like running more. I think when you just run more, you just get better. Like you don't even need to really optimize that much. You just improve. And it just kept going. I think then when I reached NUS, so that's when I decided to join the team and get a coach. I think my first session I went down and
I quit.
I accidentally like joined the sprint team.
Oh wow!
Like I went to I joined them for warm up. I did a bit of warm up with them. And I was like, yeah, so this is the distance team. And I was like, no, this is the sprint team. The track guys the distance guys are doing warm up over there. Yeah. They're like, oh shit! Then I just went over. I joined them for my warm up.
You feel that the warm up feels different,
Yeah.
Why the rings
So I've been hearing his name popping up when he was in NUS. I was thinking, who's this Shaun Goh? I've never seen him before.
Right.
Then so when did you, or do you even know that you were going into the higher
top.
tier? Yeah.
Yeah.
So when I joined my university, I don't know what the level of running was. So I just joined. Maybe I could join the team. I didn't think I'll be any good because I think I started pretty late. I was still a newbie when I entered university. So just try out. Then I think the first session they maybe do a 2.4 time trial.
Yeah.
Then I think I ran like a bit over 8 minutes for my time trial. And it was I was running for the internal NUS team. So it was apparently it was decent enough. So they put me in like the first group of the team, because each training club there's like tiers, there's like different training paces group. I was in that first training group. Yeah. Then there's this funny story. I don't want to mention the guy's name, but so there was a workout. I think it was like maybe 12 to 15 times 400 on, 400 meter off, and it was like low 80 seconds, and the off was like a jog rest. And then one of the guys in the training group, like betting with his friends, we said he would drop out. We said he won't. Nah, he's a cool senior. It's just that like at the time you newbie,
okay.
like what is this guy gonna do? And I think I did the workout like better than most of them. then it was like ever since then.
They changed the impression of you.
So
I
they respected you lah.
got a bit more respect from there. And
Usually that's the
I think they also gave me a lot of shit because I was wearing army shoes back then. I can't remember what's the
People
brand.
with
Army
army
shoes, thrashing
shoes.
game.
What's what did the shoes called last time?
Saucony,
No,
Adidas.
it was
Zoot.
Zoots. Yeah. How do you
Oh,
know?
wow.
Long story. One time in a job I used to work, the Singapore government asked me to make the shoes, and they showed me some competitors, and one was a Zoot.
Oh wow. Yeah. Exactly. Zoot. It was exactly Zoot. Yeah.
Wow.
Zoot.
Yeah. I was wearing Zoots.
Triathlon
Never
run
remember that. Zoot.
from 15 years ago.
And at the time, I refused to believe that shoes really made any difference. Because I don't want to ever feel like this shoe will make me faster, this shoe will make me slower. So if I wear a bad shoe, I'll mentally feel like I can't run faster. So at the time, I didn't want to get any better shoes. I just want to use these shoes. And then I think when I reached races, people were wearing like better shoes. Then they're like, this guy,
You felt the itch.
this guy like disrespectful, wearing bad shoes. Come
Zoots and whooping me.
yeah. Then I think when I started, when I tried a really good shoe, then you feel the difference in weight. I was like, wow, it's so my shoe is so heavy. My Zoot is so heavy. It's like a brick. When I tried like a proper good shoe for running, yeah. So it was a lot of inexperience when I began my running journey in National University of Singapore. Yeah.
And
When did you feel that you were like, I'm now on the leading?
Okay. So it's a lot of parts into this lah. But my first year, I think I was a decent runner in the local context, but I was in like maybe IVP. I will make the team, but I probably won't compete for medals.
which year was this again?
2019.
2019. Okay.
Yeah, so I would make like the Sunic team or the IVP team, but I wasn't one of the top guys. I was running like maybe 17 mid for 5K. I was running like 37 minute for 10K. So I could qualify, but I was just like running my own race most of the time. So was probably my initial base fitness and that's what I could run at the time. If you wanna progress to when I got better, it was so I was training with the internal coach in that first year.
Yep.
And I decided the plan wasn't working for me because it was very like I did agree with the philosophy lah. I mean, I don't want to say whether it's right or wrong, but it's just not what I was looking for. Then second year I left. I was training a bit on my own, but also just still playing around. Don't know why I was running this or that. Then I joined there was a new coach that came in, and he was a little better. He was more distance focused. Then I joined the team, and it was okay. I made a bit of improvements. I brought my 5K down to about 17 flat, and my 10K was about 36. So I had a bit of improvement with this coach, but he left during COVID. Yeah. So at COVID period, I had a very bad ankle sprain. My second year, basically my second year, so my second half of the semester. Yeah. And I was out for like 6 months for running. Yeah.
Right.
That was a tough period, with no running. Really couldn't run for like very long, and my ankle was terrible. Yeah. Then second part of the year, I began coming back to running. Well, it was a long, tiring process. If you go back to my Strava, go back to 2020. Wow, it was like every day just try to get 4K in, 4K in, and I was like pushing it. I was running at better reservoir, let my leg get better.
Yeah.
And I think that second half of the year, I really built a lot of momentum. And at the end of the year, I broke 17 for the first time, like just doing my own training. You can say that at the time I started to do a bit more tempo and threshold work. I started to add that more because my ankle couldn't handle a lot of intensity at the time. So I was doing a lot more like 10K pace work.
Right.
And I was very consistent. And I stacked a few good weeks. And December of that year, I ran like a 16:43. It was a big jump from my previous time.
Right.
And ever since then, I've just been kind of recycling that formula over seasons and brought my timings down. Yeah.
Just curious, right? So in 2019, when you first, you say you first meet the NUS team, 2019, right? If I could get you to share, so among the team, who are your peers that are probably like much more credentialed and were battling for medals?
In the distance scene, we got a legend Shohib.
Shohib.
Shohib was the double IVP champion, 5,000 meter, 10,000 meter.
That was in 2019?
I think 2020, I think, or 2021, I can't remember.
Okay.
But the first year for the 5K, I can't remember who was there.
Okay, no.
But yeah, I can't remember who was the top guy in NUS, but I was like just scraping through. I think Siu Zheng, Siu Zheng? Remember? Siu Zheng.
I don't know.
Yeah, he was also like
Yeah.
sub 17 guys. I remember I was just making. I think Chongxi came in also during that year.
Chongxi, okay,
My
I
second
know.
year Chongxi came in and was better than me. I think these two guys were the top dogs for NUS at the time.
Probably because I mean I know Chongqi and Shohib, and they come from a background where they have a history of like running at a performance level since like secondary school days or so lah. I mean they came from Raffles, and that had that school has a good history of like producing good runners lah. So I think they had that kind of like backing. But I mean everyone will be pretty surprised at your progression. the fact that you come from humble beginnings, just joining a distance team,
Yeah.
local team in NUS,
Right.
and then you felt that you were brave enough to feel that okay, this isn't working. You came out for a while, do your own thing,
Right.
and then after that you broke 17 minutes really.
And I think at that point of time in Singapore, being self-coach wasn't really
Yeah, it's
it was up and coming, but it wasn't really a pathway that athletes would take. But you were pretty brave to adventure. Yeah.
Sometimes you try, then you fail. You see but when you see results, you just try to replicate the formula. And I was going on Let's Run. How to improve your 5K, or what do you do 4 weeks out for 5K, or like what's a base training look like for a 5K?
Right.
There's a lot of discussion, but there is actually a consensus that will come out if you actually read through everything.
Okay.
And I tried my best to follow that. And I think training by myself also kind of like there was a bit less pressure lah, itself. Like there's no coach like expecting me to do this at the time. And when I was new to the sport, I think maybe that was what I needed, like to not feel so much pressure and just enjoy it. And one thing I was really focused on when I was self-coaching was that I made sure that I could complete every workout, because I knew that psychologically and emotionally I didn't have anyone to like kind of go to if I failed workouts. If I was burned out, I had to only myself. So I made sure my workouts were all like just a touch back. It was not because like that was the optimal way to train, but it was more for that reason that I made sure I could complete the workouts and positive momentum every workout and feeling good.
Brings
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah,
okay.
that was, and actually in the end maybe that could have been the optimized way to train actually in a sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, like, do you feel at any point in time when you were training by yourself or training with your own program, there was, lack of company, there was,
Yeah. Loneliness.
Correct.
Or the fear of not
Okay.
being able to compete.
Yeah, on the company part, I always gotta give credit to my guys at NUS. I got a bunch of brothers. They are like my NUS alumni seniors. Guys, I got name drop like Chun Ming, Chun Jie, Iggy, Edwin. These guys, they're kind of they're just working adults, same like as me. But they at the time, they were my seniors, so they came down on the track. But they were not so like performance focused. They just wanted to get a run in. Yeah, just get a run in, chit chat afterwards, go have dinner.
Yeah.
But I had the workout plan, and they just follow me. They
that's nice.
accompany me. I didn't have to adjust my plan to anybody.
Right.
I think sometimes when you're with a team, you all might not get the most optimized training because some guys might be fitter than others, and
Right.
some guys are catching up. But myself, I had like the best of both worlds a bit. I had a team plus everything was on me also.
Focus on you. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was very lucky. I never really had to train alone, ever. Yeah.
Wow.
And if I had to train alone, I think I wouldn't be able to make it this far lah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you were improving nicely, progressing nicely,
Mm.
and like reaching the top tier. So why and when do you engage Jordan?
Okay. Yeah, we never actually discussed we never actually formally discussed this, but I was okay still continue like actually me and Jordan kind of like linked up at the start of this year. I wasn't really planning to get a coach at any time soon or so. I was just like my formula was still going fine. I was happy to keep going, but I knew at some point I feel like my training formula would cap off somewhere because stagnate. Not because like it wasn't working, it's because like there were some areas which I felt I wasn't very knowledgeable in, like the speed portion of it lah. I felt speed work is is a risky game lah. It's a risky cow workout. They're more high intensity, risk of injury is higher. If you don't do it right, you can get injured lah. Yeah. So I was doing more safer kind of lower intensity tempo threshold work.
Right.
I felt like when I started improving and my PBs got better, I think at some point like my 5K pace will get to a pace where if my running economy does not improve, I don't have that speed work to support it. Like as much as my engine is strong, I will not be able to run comfortably at this faster pace. Like if I want to break 15 minutes for 5K,
Right.
you're gonna run 72 smooth. But I can do as much 80-second work as I want, but if I can't run like a 72-second smoothly because my legs are not familiar with the turnover,
Yeah.
I will not be able to do it.
Right.
So chanced upon Jordan at the start of this year. He was he happened to help by Singapore for a Coldplay concert. Yeah, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. And I happened to do a all-comers race that weekend as well. I did a 10,000 meters on the track.
Right.
I did my personal best. I ran like 32 minutes, 30 something seconds. And I think after that weekend we linked up for an easy run with Shohib. Yeah, we went for an easy run around the bay on I think on the Tuesday, and we had a good chat session. Me and Shoaib were like trying to pick Jordan's brain because asking him all the workouts. How do we like work on 1,005 workouts?
Right.
And he was very generous to share with us, the lessons, the stories, and how a training week would look like, and how the structured workouts. So yeah, and I think Jordan flew off that night, and he would generously send a training sample plan for me.
Wow.
I was honestly surprised, like, because I mean, me and Shoaib after the run, we like noted down all everything to us, we were like, you remember this, we don't want to forget anything, And then he was really nice. He sent me a training plan to follow. It was for 6 weeks, I think. And I didn't think I tried my best. I just followed it. It wasn't like a coaching thing. I'll try this out and see how it goes.
Right.
And I think just from there, I kind of like updated him how it went. He gave me advice how it went, and I think we just extended it. There was never formally a time where we said, "Oh, I'm gonna coach you," or "Can you coach me?" It just progressed into this. Yeah. Even till now, actually, we haven't formally said, "Oh, yeah." But
Signed the
I think it's been long enough where I think it's
You acknowledge each other's
ideally
kind of a role.
ideally I hope it's mutual, but yeah.
It's like, wait, who are you?
We'll ask him later on.
This guy picked me up from the airport the other day. I was like,
All right, okay.
is he a
2
taxi
weeks
driver or what?
Yeah.
He knows all about me. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, this guy's been like, we only met once, the whole year, and it's like, it's been helping me throughout this whole year. Like,
Yeah, but I seen you before in Latvia in the World Road Running Championship.
Yeah.
I seen you do the 5K because Kieran Lum,
Kieran Lum.
He was an exchange student here, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he's like friend of mine, and he runs for On professionally. He helps us with some shoe design things.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh yeah, with the Singapore people. I was like, oh, my wife, she used to live in Singapore.
Right.
A little connection. So I seen you there, and then when we came, we were on vacation in Southeast Asia. We come to Coldplay concert, and one guy, what's his name, Keen.
Yeah.
Keen's like, oh, I'm doing a track 10K. I was like, oh, I will do it as well. I was like, oh, but that's the same night as the concert. So
Run the 10K?
couldn't run the 10K. But then I was like, oh, will you win? He's like, oh, no, I won't win. This guy's gonna smash. He will like lap me. I was like, really? Like, but you run like quite good for like He's like, oh no, this guy Shaun. I was like, oh yeah, I remember he did the 5K in Riga.
Yeah.
And then I seen the time. It was quite obviously humid in Singapore and
Yeah.
hot, quite windy.
Yeah.
I think he did like 32:30, 32:40.
Yeah.
Like solo. I was like, wow, that's like really good. Like, what's this guy do for training? Like, how does he get big improvements? Because I looked like the progression and stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, he just coaches himself. And then I think we had the conversation, and then we went for a jog. And if you read the book Once a Runner, it says a line in there like, you can learn a lot about somebody in a 10-mile run. Like a 16K run, you can learn a lot, right? Like maybe someone's listened to this podcast doing a 16K run, they're going to learn a lot, right? So yeah, like Shoaib and Shaun asking lots of questions, but I'm like, I will just send him an email because it's a lot of stuff to remember, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And we took it from there. And I think back to what you were saying about like self-coach and training on your own, but like with the support of the university guys pacing you a little bit here there. Like for me as a runner, like my journey's been long. Like as a runner, maybe like, I don't know, 25 years or more. And every runner I see, like I work with guys here now, like win Olympic medals and people who's like just start their running journey. And the success of any people on the whole spectrum is mostly down to one thing, and it's what you have inside you. If you have like the passion and the drive inside you, because it gets really difficult at times, it's not easy running, then you can be successful in the sense of you can improve and you can make big jumps if you're persistent. But if you don't have it inside you, if it's just like your parents drop you off and you have to go there because they take you there, like you're not going to sustain long enough to be successful or improve and keep making those forward steps. But with Shaun, I see like you said at the start, he's very humble, and he's like he wants it, and it's like I ask some guys I coach, like at the 32k, 35k in a marathon, there's one question you need to ask. And it's the same question I asked there 500 meters into 800 meters. How much do you want it? It's as simple as that.
I thought you were gonna ask like, why am I running?
It's the same question.
Wrong question.
Wrong question.
It is.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same question.
same
Like, why am I
question,
here? Or how much do I want it? And if the answer is like, because I kind of enjoy it and I want to be better,
Yeah.
then it's not easy, but it's easier, let's say. Yeah, and Shaun has the drive and the internal drive because we have to change a few things maybe we can speak about, but the success was only going to come if he wants it, you know.
Right. It has to be intrinsic. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
100%. Yeah.
And this leads very well into the conversations that we want to have. You know, Jordan,
Yeah.
we heard a lot from Shaun. Don't worry, we'll come back to you.
Yeah.
And we also want to hear from you as well. So you guys met in a lovey-dovey Coldplay concert. Just kidding. You guys met post Coldplay concert. You guys had a good run.
It was like, I will fix you.
Oh,
It was like,
So can you tell us a bit more about yourself? I know you said you have a 25-year history in running,
Yeah.
and then now you work for On Running.
Mm-hmm.
So running's been like there all your life. Tell us more about how you started running and where you are at the moment.
Yeah, so when you're born where I am in Liverpool, you're born, they say there's two things. You're born with the football at your feet, and you're allowed to choose the religion, but you're not allowed to choose the football club.
Okay.
It's chosen for you.
Yeah,
You
it's yours.
what your parents support is what you have to support. So football is like life. It's like what everyone speaks about. It's everyone works in the week to pay the money to go on the weekend to watch the football. It's how it is.
Right.
So it's their culture. So I played football through high school, college, and then towards the end of high school, I started to do track.
Right.
Because they said if you want to get better football, fitter, like I played midfield,
Right.
running a lot, go on track team. So I did this and I started 800 meters, went to college, a lot more 800s, got some good progression. Then I had to work, so study and work in a running store because it was easy to talk about running shoes, you know, just this one's for, I don't know, more cushion, less cushion, lightweight, whatever. We used to have funny games like you had to like who could sell like the most running shoes, whatever, over the weekend. But we used to like who could make the stupidest story to sell to a consumer.
Wow.
So we used to be like back then it was like always Pro Evo versus FIFA on PlayStation football
Precisely,
games.
yeah.
So like we would always the technologies of all the different brands.
Yeah.
We would just just fake them all. So we'd be like trying to sell to a customer, oh, this has got like the Pro Evo gel and it's got like the X button on there and the triangle button. You know, it's like it's just fun like this.
Right.
Yeah. So that got me started in working, let's say, in the running industry, and then after college I joined the brand at Adidas, then Puma, and now Adidas again, then On. Working in Vietnam, China, Germany, US, around. And that also allowed me to meet a lot of the world's best athletes and coaches. And I'm like a sponge, so I just like absorb as much knowledge as I can, and you'll figure out in the future how to piece it together, what it actually means, and so on. So I've been on this journey a long time myself as a runner, 800 runner. Now I run some marathons because 800 is really hard as you get older to sustain the speed, the power, let's say. So now I'm running marathons, but parallel to this, I'm like really, every day with like the world's best athletes and coaches, and they're all quite different. And they have different approaches, but they all end up at the Olympics.
Right.
So there's many different ways to get there. And I had some great coaches along the way, like in high school and college, then a lot of self-coached, and then a lot of professional coaches as well. So I've got a lot of knowledge and experience built up. And all of that, then people give me all for free. You know, it's like their time and that. So for me, it's like the duty to give this back to help people like Shaun, a few other people I coach, like on similar level, some a little bit more, some a little bit less. And it's just good to see like people who is like humble and want to do well, like respect me and take the advice and trust in me. It's a big thing, right? So that's a bit the journey.
Firoz, there is. Do you feel as a coach? Do you feel certain similarities with what our dear Jordan has said, on the part where he feels like he needs to give back. Someone who has had like how many years of running experience here?
For me, it's not. I don't see it as giving back. I just see it as a passion. Like I still want to be involved in the athletics, and I see this like a it's an art.
Okay.
Yeah, like not one program fits everyone.
Right.
Yeah, so like one program can work well with one, and it doesn't work at all with another.
Right.
Instead of improving, the person is dropping. Then
Right.
you wonder why.
Right.
Yeah. So I just see it as like another challenge, and
Right.
to me, I love challenges. So
Mm.
if I see my products
Yeah.
achieving better times, then I'm glad. I'm happy.
You're happy. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Jordan, coming back to you, mate. Your time in On. I think briefly you mentioned you work with world-class athletes, coaches, and you have learned a lot from them as well. What specifically do you work? I mean, I don't think you don't
Yeah.
coach them because they already have
No,
their
no, no.
coaches. So what do you do for
Yeah.
them? Yeah.
So I work more on the product creation.
Right.
So like racing shoes, training shoes, spikes,
Right.
apparel. So all of the products which on for the top athletes.
Mm.
Not like the lifestyle stuff or like not so much what you would buy in the store.
Right.
Maybe half of that type of stuff.
Yeah.
But mostly on high performance products.
Right.
And yeah, I kind of lead the innovation team from a product management point of view.
Mm.
And then within that, we have different types of designers, engineers, chemical engineers, textile engineers,
Right.
sports scientists, a whole collection of experts.
Yeah.
And my job is to kind of bring them
Yeah.
together, keep them in the right direction, connect us with the athletes to ensure that we're delivering and building the best products for the athletes. Yeah.
Right. So just I came across on social media the newest On running shoe. They said it's like a shoe that matches your skin. No, it's like it's super thin, super light.
Spray.
Were you part of that
Yeah, yeah.
innovation?
Yeah. So this is probably one of the biggest innovation in footwear right now. It's called Light Spray. It's not an advert for On, by the way. Here, it's just how it is. But it's a completely different way of producing shoes.
Right.
It's built by a robot, so it sprays sprays a material around the shape of a foot, like a last it's called, and it fits almost like a sock. So imagine traditional type of upper part of a shoe might have 20 to 30 different materials,
Right.
and it all has to be stitched together or glued and all of this type of stuff. This one is just one,
Right.
so it's a lot more sustainable and a lot simpler to manufacture, and it doesn't compromise any performance. So we developed it on a road shoe and track spikes with Helena Obiri. She got the bronze medal at the Olympic Games.
Okay.
And then a lot of 1500 meter runners, Ollie Hoare, Yared Naguse, all of these big athletes. And we landed in Paris Olympic Games with this technology after many years of a lot of people. Like I sit here, but there's like 50, 60 people working on this
Right.
one technology, and now even more to scale it up to be like really big and commercial, let's say. But that's just the upper. A lot of the magic is also in the bottom of the shoe, the midsole, the
Midsole,
carbon
yeah.
plate, the outsole.
And so wow. Okay. So it's great to hear that. Mel,
Oh,
yeah.
I-
Yeah, a good question. Yeah. So, Jordan, for On, right? It's not that big in Singapore.
Yet.
So yeah, yeah. But I mean, I've been hearing that you've been working with elites, but how about the masses?
Yeah.
Like, are y'all as aggressive as the other brands in terms of your marketing strategies?
Yeah. So the business doesn't work if you only make for the top of the pyramid. And for me, it's always about like actually the World Athletics rules is that whatever you create for the top athletes needs to be commercially available anyway. So like the products which the athletes wear in Olympics, you need to sell as well. So it's not like that you need both at the same time. And that's the whole point of our department, and even like signing athletes and all of this, it's to give the brand credibility so that the end consumer, the everyday runners, believe in the brand and can have the trust and say, oh, that's a really cool innovation, and it actually works because this person win this medal or that. So this is the idea. Singapore market, I see it growing a lot. I've been coming back and forth Singapore for many years. On is definitely growing. I think it's great, but it's not like anything like Shaun career here. Like it's not an overnight type of thing. Even though the company has like doubled overnight, it took a lot of work in the background to make these things happen. Yeah.
I've got a question. You have probably one of the most interesting jobs out there. Because I see you as a connector between the elites and the brand.
Yeah.
That facilitator between trying to get the elites' demand on the shoe, their footwear, because it's so important to them, and for the brand to also understand what the elites were, always trying to convey. I think I see you in that connector, right? That bridge. How does this role come about? Was it true? I know was it because On recognizes the need for that, or there was a role that you previously entered, but it evolved until that is something that where you are right now?
Yeah, it was a little bit of both. So I was working for some other brands in the last, like, for 12 or 13 years before. I accumulate a lot of like knowledge, experience, great bosses, mentors, learning a lot of like wrong ways and what not to do as well. You can take a lot from like failures of different companies and what they try to do maybe. And I was always like in the end looking to try to put all of these things together. And I met a crazy guy in 2011. I was living in Vietnam. I met guy Olivier Bernhard. He's the founder of On. He's a triathlete world champion and a duathlete world champion. Great athlete.
He was in Vietnam?
He was in Vietnam because he had this small idea and a small brand, and they were looking for suppliers and production
like
and
factories.
things like this. Yeah. So I spoke to him then. Seen him on a morning run because not many people run there, at least in Vietnam back then. And it's very easy to see a guy who's 1.90 m, like a white Swiss guy with So we chatted a little bit, and then I seen him again at the Berlin Marathon, the expo, about a year later or so. I was back in Germany for a business trip, and I chatted to him again, and I was like, wow, like your thing's taken, it's pretty cool here. And back then, On was very different to today, but it was very different. Like, the visual of On is very different.
I know,
right?
when it
The
first
cloud
started,
and
the
all of
cloud
this, and
tech was...
yeah. And I was like, wow, so you're like making it happen. So we had a good conversation. And then fast forward, like, 12 years, 11 years, maybe actually 10 years then. It was the 2021 Olympics in Tokyo, or just before. And he, not him directly, but via like recruiters and whatever, they're like, hey, we want you to come and join On. Olivier, speak very good of you. He's the founder, the owner of On. I was like, yeah, but I have a nice life here, working for Adidas. My wife enjoys it. We live in Germany. All cool. And then they told me about the project, which was to work with some other people and build together this new innovation team, which was responsible to create the products for the athletes. And I was like, oh, this is like the dream platform. Like, because when you go into these big companies, like Adidas then is for 65 years running, like going like a train, like Puma the same, Nike the same. So it's very difficult to change things when in this very established companies.
Yes.
So this was a platform to start from almost the beginning with this high performance products, and they just signed like 9 months before, like real good top young athletes who just made the first Olympics. The owner of the company, Olivier, is such a good guy that he even allowed them to wear the Nike products at the Olympics because he didn't want to compromise their performance.
Right.
Like the Olympics, like dream,
Of
right?
course,
Like,
yeah.
if you imagine you go there and your brand has not got the best product, and he recognized that, and he said, be patient. We're hiring some people, and they're going to help us to make the product, and you're going to help us as well. So they ran in the Nike products there, and the goal was to go from Tokyo 2021 to Paris 2024 and deliver, like total new product, innovation, work with the athletes. So I was like, hey, I'm sold, man. Like I take a pay cut to do the shop, and like I even did, but it was like, hey, but you have to convince my wife because we already moved from like the US back to Europe, and then we were comfortable, and so he spoke with my wife, and then we moved to On, and it's the job is like a dream, and what the original job was is not what I do today, and that's a little bit because there was not really a job description. It was more like entrepreneurial, like a big word, but like we had to just make the culture of the people
Yeah.
and understand what we're trying to do. We have to make all the processes and infrastructure, that kind of boring stuff, which in reality, if you don't do that, it's going to fail because you need to have direction processes. And then we needed to build a platform where we could create really, really cool solutions for athletes and work with athletes to get their trust, that we could have this continuous back and forth, bring in other experts of sports science or engineering or robotics or whatever it is to keep us on the right path, because we knew, like, coming from the competitors, because we all came from different brands, that we knew inside them other brands, they have teams 10 times bigger than us with way more resources.
Right.
And if we want to challenge them, we have to really be
Efficient.
efficient, a great team, good direction, and believe in what we're doing. Yeah.
You basically answered my next question.
Yeah, which was
Because
Yeah.
I wanted to ask how is On different from the other companies? But
Yeah.
when I hear about your role being kind of evolved from a established role to something that they recognize a need for,
Right.
I think it speaks volumes about how they really want to connect to the elite and the brand basically to make sure that the messages are clear,
Right.
etc. But with regards to like the normal big brands out there, there's always established teams and you do a certain specific job, but they never quite get to maybe the elites want to require something. It's not so nimble. The request doesn't flow through as quickly, or perhaps the right person.
Right.
So I guess On has done a good job in that.
Yeah. I mean, back 3 years ago, On was like, we were about 250 to 300 employees, and now it's maybe 2,000 to 3,000. So it's gone like crazy. So back then it was like, hey, if we want to do it, it was me, a guy, Timon, a designer, and Jonas, an engineer. If it was one of us three guys want to do it, we did it. There's no layers, no ask permission. Where's the budget? Is it the right thing or wrong thing to do? Hey, if us three guys, if we agree, hey, that's what we're going to do. Like, and it was as simple as that. Now it's different because the company is 10 times as big.
Yeah.
We need more people. We are not the guys with all the ideas. Like, we need people smarter than us. We need, like, I don't know, computational designer building algorithms of how to run a robot. Hey man, I forget my password to the laptop. I'm never gonna write a code on a computer, yeah. But it's in other brands, it's really interesting because they were like overstructured, too many layers, and this product creation teams in other brands is maybe a little bit further away from the innovation team, whereas we set ourselves up inside the innovation team. Like, we were the innovation team. And now other brands are essentially restructuring to copy 100%. So now, like Puma, Adidas, like they now structure like we are structured to do that. So I think that's a really cool thing, because the industry of making footwear has existed for a long time,
Right.
and it's a very set way of doing it. And we kind of managed to change a bit the process of how you build high performance products to improve athlete performance.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like a job that all of us would be happy to do.
Yeah. No, it's a huge, like, I don't take it lightly. The privilege and the responsibility is really, it's so cool.
Yeah.
And it won't last forever. That's why I'm so like just there.
Living in the moment.
Yeah,
enjoying.
100%. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So my other question is, now that you've landed in this like dream job, and now Olympics is over, what's your goal professionally in your role right now with On?
Yeah.
And maybe on a more personal note, what is your goal in terms of your own running? Right now you're venturing into marathons.
Yeah. I mean, from On, like, I've with the help of Timon, Jonas, my co-workers on each side, design, engineering, we've hired a lot of people, and our job and our role is to help grow them people, that they can self-sustain and build up and keep it going. Because now we do like running sports, so we do like track, road, triathlon, trail running, but in the future maybe we're going to do like completely different sports, and we can't do it all. So we need to hire people and we need to trust them. So we set in like the process of how we do it, and then it needs to be replicated and improved upon. Right. So yeah, I've got some great people, like a guy Jaime Romo Garcia, like an amazing guy. Now he takes off like 50% of my job, running it himself, and then I have to now, well, not have to, but I do like different project now with like in completely different areas. So that's a bit more the job side. I mean, the Olympics every 4 years, but it takes quite a long time to develop innovations which make a difference.
Right.
And so we are completely on the road to Los Angeles 28 right now, already since even before Paris happened.
Right.
We are already starting LA
Planning
28
for it.
things. Yeah.
Okay.
And then on the running side, I mean, no more 800 meter runners. I mean, I did a few in like pacing some pro athletes, which is like a race for me. Like if they run like 2 minutes, it's a race for me now, and for them it's 1 rep out of 6. And now, I mean, I started doing marathons 2 years ago. I did Valencia 2022. I did 2:33, was great. And then I did last year. The goal was to under 2:30, and I made it. It was the perfect day. I had great build up around 2:28, and now we want to go back in. How many weeks do we have now? Not that you were running, but six weeks. And I want to just run a PB close to 2:25. So like I try to increase the volume because the speed, the efficiency is not as much a problem. But
your speed is still better than a lot, like 90% of people out there, or 95% of people out there.
but marathon, it's about, in the end, if you don't do the volume, you're not going to get the results. So I averaged about 75k a week to get 2:28. And like people were like laughing at me, like, man, like how did you do that? Like,
dude,
I'm like, I wear these big shoes, these huge shoes, and I just bounce down the streets.
You're doing that? You did 75k to do a 2:28.
Yeah. So then,
Is 75k or mile? Like, just to be sure, it's k.
K is yeah. It's about 47 miles was the average for the 12 week block.
This episode, when you release, right? I think 90%, 95% of people will buy on shoes.
It's the wrong thing to do.
They woke up by half. Everyone's gonna cut. They woke up by half.
If you want to do good marathon, don't do 75k a week. You have to do more.
Oh yeah, disclaimer.
It wasn't a choice. It was just my job is very demanding for travel, and it's difficult to.
Old man want to share your mileage?
Jordan, I'm a little embarrassed by. So last year I went Valencia. I didn't know Jordan was there as well, but we ran the same marathon. I did my personal best 2:36. I've clocked about maybe 120 Ks.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Right.
And Jordan runs 75k and runs sub 2:30. My God.
Yeah, but it's not the right way to do it. Okay. And I hope people don't listen who maybe do less than 75.
No.
The less they do, the better.
But I mean, it's I mean, we spoke about it before we had the start of the show here, but like maybe we speak later. But the fundamental about the marathon is like it is a very long race where you have to run on the red line. And like me and Shaun, I think we spoke about it. There's a big difference of running a marathon or racing a marathon. And if you run a marathon to complete it, I think it's an awesome achievement. But maybe when you've done that a few times, you probably want to like aim a bit more for a time. And that becomes then when you start to go, okay, now I want to race the marathon and I want to try and hit some splits and I want to run a bit more risky to push the boundaries, To race a marathon, ultimately you need to, the volume aspect is,
And in terms of goals, I know we've been very quiet, but don't worry.
You gave Shaun some airtime to.
She was thinking of the question.
I'm happy to listen to the
So how about you, buddy? What's your goal for 2024?
And 2025. And 2025. Come on.
The year's ending already.
I mean, 2025 is definitely the SEA Games year, so it's gonna be in Bangkok. Definitely want to qualify for that as the short-term goal. And
Event again? 10k?
5k, 10k.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not gonna be picky. Whichever I get, I'll do my best in them. But my main goal is really I want to go there and be able to compete. I qualified for Cambodia last year, and it was like for me, it was really a dream come true to be there. But I hope they have higher expectations this time because last year when I was there, I was probably like underprepared. And, when I went there, I saw the level of competition and the level of fitness you really need to be in those races and compete. And I don't want to be like next year just qualify just to be like at the back of the pack. I really want to be there to make some noise and show respect to the competition a bit. Yeah.
Be in the mix.
Yeah, being in the mix,
Yeah.
it's definitely more fun than just starting
No,
the
it's
race
true,
and
it's
then going to the back and chilling. Yeah.
We have agreement when they ring the bell.
Yeah.
He's got to be there.
Yeah.
All right, with the front pack.
Yeah.
That's the way. That's the way.
So yeah, next year will just be the focus on trying to hit the timings to qualify.
Yeah.
They're pretty tough. I mean, they are like around our national record standards. So
Yeah.
hopefully,
It's about your level, right?
nah, as in like we gotta do some on the track. We gotta get it done. I think maybe a jump away. And once we get there, then we'll work from there and
Right.
try to improve. Yeah, keep improving.
And I'm assuming Jordan will be there with you throughout that process. Yeah.
Jordan, have you been to SEA Games? As in like
No,
what one?
I've not. But I used to live in Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam. I think they had it in I don't know the early 2000s, and I used to train at the stadium where it was. Unfortunately, the track was the same and it was all peeled and curled up.
Bits and pieces.
But yeah, that's when I first learned about the SEA Games, and then I watched some of them. I mean, it's the races is good, like because the level is quite similar. Like the competitors make it a good race, you know. And I know for like SEA countries, it's really huge. And I meet at some international competitions. I meet the Singapore sprinters who, World Championships, Olympics, and the coach tells me like, yeah, the SEA Games, this is like for us, it's like, you're a hero if you do good stuff there.
Yeah.
So I appreciate the SEA Games. Yeah, hopefully I can go in the
You wanna
Yeah.
get in the athlete village and get some of the
Yeah, he was saying, yeah.
We'll get him there somehow. Somewhere.
get that free Thai food at the athlete village would be nice. Yeah.
yeah, but we gotta qualify first, you know.
Yeah.
Let's not jinx it. Yeah.
When is the window for qualification?
I believe it's not open yet. I'm not sure. It's like there's no date that's released, but once I think it's end of this year, like maybe November, December. Then we have like
cutoff?
like I think it's like 2-3 months before the actual date.
Right.
So I got a full year to work with.
Nice. Exciting times for the both
yeah.
of you.
These three guys are too humble. You know, these three guys have been to the SEA Games as well. You know, they're all in their respective events. I mean, they've made it too.
Many years.
Many
ago.
moons ago, we were having
Yeah.
fun.
You were a 1500 meter runner.
I was at 900. Yeah, I did 356 for 1500.
Started with number 3. That's the
Yeah. I ended with the number 3 and decided to do tennis now. Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
much better. Yeah. So when I saw the first, before we go to first, the first thing I saw was Roger Federer's
yeah.
on shoes. Was that the main sport you guys went into first, or was running already something?
It was first running, but because it's a Swiss brand and Roger Federer is like the most famous Swiss sports person.
Got it.
He's like from near to where the On was founded as well. Actually, it's not like a secret. Like they needed money because it was a startup, and he is a smart guy, and of course he invested in. But they could not afford to pay his because he has like big contracts, right? Like you want to sponsor Roger Federer, you better go to
bring
the
the
bank.
money.
You know, like,
Take a loan. Take a loan and pay him back.
And it was unrealistic.
Yeah.
So they're really smart guys, the 3 guys who founded On, and they turned it around and said, okay, in reality, we can't really afford to sponsor you, but how about you pay us? You invest in us,
Right.
and your money will help us grow the brand, and in return, you get the equity in the brand.
Wow.
And now I'm pretty sure it was a good decision for everybody.
Yeah.
So Roger, unfortunately now he's retired. He's a real goat. No,
Proper good.
and he comes to the office. He still like makes decisions on like some of the products which have his name on it.
Yeah.
He has the right to speak about that. It's really cool. You just stand in the line get a coffee, and he's standing in front of you.
The name drop is ridiculous. It's like,
I just met Roger in the canteen.
No, but it's like I mean, you can't ask for like selfies and stuff. It's not allowed. But he just humble guy, very very quiet, nice guy, and we always know when he's in because he always drives like a Mercedes like G-Wagon, and
Ooh.
every time it's like different color rides.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, it's sponsored, like he has
Yeah, definitely.
endorsement.
Yeah.
But yeah, great ambassador for our brand. Yeah.
Okay. First, down to you.
Yeah.
SEA Games. What do you do?
942 steeplechase.
Yeah, respect, man. Steeplechase in this conditions in Southeast Asia. Oh yeah. yeah, respect.
It's the consensus, the hardest event in track.
Yeah.
Let's run is
Yeah.
it's always 800 or steeple.
That's why he's been complaining for many years. I hear his complaints. Here pain, pain. But it's true.
And our dear
Yeah.
Melvin, SEA Games, what do you do again?
2015 10K. 5K was about 16 minutes.
Right.
10K was still my PB. I
Right.
think 32:58. I think.
Which location was that?
Singapore.
Oh wow, home games, man.
Yeah.
What a
Home
dream.
games. That was the dream.
Yeah.
What was the last lap?
Huh?
What was the last lap?
I didn't measure, but
it was-
someone told me it was like 63 or 65.
We're saving it for the last lap.
Actually, not really. But I saw the guy coming close. I said, I'm going to do it.
But you took part in multiple SEA Games, right?
After that, 2015, then I was away. I mean, I don't know what happened. I didn't qualify for the next one because it was just the SEA Games level at, I think when we talk about 5-10K, it's always near national record.
Yeah.
And after 2015, I just couldn't break 15 minutes and
Yeah.
30, 31, 32 kind. So I didn't make it for the next few editions. I made it for a marathon in 2022.
Vietnam, right?
Yeah, Vietnam. So I did 2:45 there. But I only qualified in the last week of the window.
Wow.
I went to because that was a COVID year. So it was actually 2021. They pushed it back to 2022.
Yeah.
So there's no races to qualify.
So I couldn't get any race until 2022. So back then when we saw a window up to like I think end of Feb, then there was this
Everybody
race.
was going for it. Yeah.
There was this race that was like just 1 week after Feb. So I just emailed Singapore Athletics whether can they accept if I do qualify, can I accept an entry is 1 week later. Then they said okay, can. Maybe
Which
at least-
race was it?
So I went to this race called Castello Marathon in Spain, but it's 1 hour drive away from Valencia.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a small race, but apparently it is World Athletics
Section.
Yeah.
bronze. I don't know, bronze or like
Yeah.
some kind of labeling. And then the race director made it. It was very proud because apparently that year where I run in, the female set the world record 10K.
Wow.
10K world record road
Wow.
there. So it was a 10K and there was a marathon.
Right.
Amazing.
Yeah. So yeah. Other than that, I'm here now.
in the Singapore news, to say female breaks marathon 10K world record, and underneath Melbourne qualifies.
Exactly. That's how the news works.
Yeah, but it was very nice because when I emailed the event director to see whether I could take part and all, because I think that during that time Europe was just starting to relax on the COVID
Measures,
rules.
yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know whether I need any certification to prove that I took 2 jabs, vaccination, things like that. So there was a bit of like administration to iron out. But yeah, it was good.
Hey, now we're all here.
Yeah, all here.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a good session.
Yeah.
I learned a lot from
Yeah.
Shaun,
Yeah.
from Jordan. Thank you for your time here.
Really appreciate it. Any
Yeah.
last words to our audience?
Oh, actually,
Yeah.
I don't know whether you have any questions for us.
Yes.
We asked you too many already.
Yeah. How do you see? I mean, Shaun as like an internet coach who's now real.
Internet coach.
Internet coach.
And in Singapore, I see like even some local races. I see like a lot of enthusiasm for athletics and road running. Like, how do you see it growing up? Because I've seen like some 800 guys running fast over in Japan. They have like a cool group.
The Nagasaki Cup. Yeah.
Yeah,
recently.
Yeah.
Oldham or something.
Oldham
Oldham
Athletics.
Athletics.
Yeah, this is a nice. I always think a cool group.
Yeah.
Obviously, like you guys doing the marathon is like. I hear you're battling now. There's a few guys for the spot in the SEA Games. It's good competition.
Good competition.
Yeah.
Good competition. Yeah, I don't know.
The female side, I see some pretty good females, like also doing national records. It's good time now in Singapore athletics. Like who's inspiring like the next cycle of yeah.
I think personally, when we started out, when we represent Singapore in the 2015 SEA Games, I think the home games was a highlight for Singapore athletics. I think back then, we were only dependent on throwers. I think the time James Wong and one more foreign
Jumper,
athlete thrower also
Right.
were delivering medals, and then of course our sprint relay team 4x100. So those were the three events that anchored our medal chances at the SEA Games level. Otherwise, there wasn't much to kind of shout about for the rest of the athletics, fraternity. But I think that home games really set the tone that we can see our own athletes coming from different, what we call kampong villages together. Perfect venue for our friends, family to come see what we really do at the end of, many months of training,
Right.
competing with the rest of the region. So I think that was a turning point for us, or at least for the fraternity, I guess. So it built from 2015 home SEA Games. We saw big momentum, and I think that rolls on to the next edition SEA Games. But after that, of course, there's a bit of like negativity around the sport with management issues, infighting and stuff like that. So it kind of went down a bit. But when I guess Shanti Pereira, the sprinter,
200 lady.
emerges out, she's always good at the SEA Games level. She's like, she won gold in the 200 meter in 2015.
Yeah.
And then at the Hanoi SEA Games where I competed as well, she also won gold again, and then continued her rise from there. I think that's where we saw that people who are not athletics fans are starting to pay attention. I think that's where we see that, okay, we've got a role model there. We want to view the sport. We want to then explore, right? find out deeper what the sport actually is. How many events are there in athletics, etc. Right? Yeah. So I think that from that time on, it grew lah. But also timed well nicely because we also have new management. Very, very, I would say, commercially very very savvy. They're able to then we always depend on like the government funds for running and operating our association, but I think these days the new management always think about how to tap on private sector, how to leverage on like synergies across different sports. Actually, when I went to the Vietnam SEA Games, the president came along with us on the same flight. Then on the bus where we have other sports, right? He even talked to other sports. So basically, he would say, hey, to the wrestlers, because there was some wrestling.
Come and watch the athletic.
No, come and watch.
Yeah.
When you're done with wrestling, come and join our throws.
Yeah.
So there was an element of hey, actually you can help, build our pipeline for throwers. So he was thinking of all that already, and was just socializing around us. When I just had a view next to him, right? I saw, wow, that's what he's doing. So really awesome, I guess.
Yeah.
So I guess right now, Singapore athletics is in a good state.
Yeah.
And we've got good financial support. With the funding. We've been through times where the association just choose the people to go and represent Singapore in certain competitions. We never know the reason why.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get blindsided. Oh, I didn't know there's this competition. Oh, this guy is going.
But I think on top of Shanti, the other name might be controversial. Rayong,
Yes.
Yeah, I think he, as much as people have two sides of the coin in his controversies and stuff, but he's brought a lot of light to athletics.
Yeah.
And that has also gotten the country in general to move in a certain direction as well. So I think that's another name that we can't
Yeah,
forget.
Rayong is like our the
And
kind
he
of
does
like
distance, like
distance
marathon stuff. So
Yeah.
a great spokesperson
Yeah.
for distance running as well.
That's good. Anyone push the bar up is good.
Yeah.
But as a whole, I would say the distance running is up and coming. A lot of young ones hitting
Interesting.
timings that back then not many able to hit. Let's say for 10K, right? Many are struggling at 35, 34.
Yeah.
But this time around, like, wow, a whole bunch are doing 35, 36.
Yeah.
We have John and Shaun as well, already hitting 31.
Yeah.
Even low 31s and 32s, which I think in the last 5-7 years, aside from Rayong and Mok,
Yeah.
there were not a lot of
Precisely.
people
Yeah.
in that. There were some that touches the 32, but not consistently
Correct.
at that level. So
Precisely.
it's very heartening to see young ones are coming up.
Get some more guys to follow you on the track.
Yeah. I mean,
We can do
The more the
100
better.
meters, he can do 200, 400, and should be able to pace it with 1 cent.
I always say it's not rocket science, you know.
yeah. I mean, the more of us there, the more we can push up, right? You know, it's not-
Yeah.
You don't have to kill yourself going too hard. Just build up the volume, get good threshold work,
yeah, it's
learn how to run
not
fast.
rocket
You
science,
can
yeah.
pull along tracks, man. Tracks athletic.
Yeah.
Actually, I feel that once we've got a group of, I think the maybe the thing that's missing right now that will help lift up the distance running a bit more is that we get people of like somewhat similar abilities to come together lah. I think once you start sharing that session together and running, it's easier lah to go through. You don't feel like you're alone in that,
Yeah.
or you have to push through on your own.
Absolutely.
All right, cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you, boys.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Thank
Yeah.
you,
Good
both of
fun.
you.
Yeah.
We will catch you guys real soon.
Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing you on social media. What's going on?
Hoping to hear for good news in 2025.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before you wrap up, Shaun is going for his half marathon end of this month.
Whoa,
So we're
where?
going to send his
Wait. End of this month is when? The release of this episode is.
Oh yeah. Time
They
stamp.
cut- they cut-
But
Might have happened already.
when are you going? Just for us to better know when.
October 27th, we're
Okay.
going to Valencia for the half marathon.
Wow. No.
Yeah, I went last year with Rayong. Managed to break 70 minutes. This year, hopefully trying to improve on that. Yeah,
Oh, Valencia is a land of
TVs,
records, huh?
yeah, it's magic. Yeah.
Next year, marathon.
Valencia,
Alright.
Starbucks, baby. I'll see you.
You go Valencia to just bring Starbucks.
Cool.
Okay, that's
awesome,
a wrap.
guys. Thank you
you.
so much.
Awesome.
Yeah, we'll catch you soon.